Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're watching from. My name is Jonuki Aglo from Casa de Lengua. Welcome once more to our scholarship webinar, your chance to finally discover why most statement of purpose statements loses reviewers in the first 10 seconds. The hidden line that quietly destroys applications and how to craft one so compelling that they can't look away. To help us do that is our one and only facilitator, Mr. Raymond Inketia. Raymond, please, you have the floor.
Okay, Ms. Donuki, thank you very much for the time as well. So great to continue our Scholarship 101 series. We can project whatever we have on the screen as well. As at now, we are in November. As at now, people should be done submitting. If you are not done submitting of your applications, kindly do so. It's very important that you submit applications as at now. The tips you've given so far from the time we started, whereby we took our time to explain to audience, our listeners, on how to prepare for the scholarship application process. And this is to tell you that we have done previous ones. So if you are watching this one, you can always go back and check the previous ones that we have done. And we are really, really good to go. And I want to say a great thank you to Casa de Lingua for doing this series, because the fact of the matter is that people don't know the right things to do. So if you don't know the right thing to do, you just be doing like what everybody is doing. I mean, or just be doing whatever you think, but there's a right way to do this. So we've taken our time. We've done at least since like September, we've done about over four different series. Take your time. If you go to the Casa de Lengua website, you can be able to see all of these things, and then you are good to go. Now, having treated academic CV, treated how to search for schools, treated cold emailing, and then the whole grad school process, please take your time and refer to them. So we will refer certain things from that time. So this is not, and it is not standing on this own. It is based on all the things you have done from that time to now. And I want to thank the IT team as well for this splendid presentation that they've done as well. It's really been a very tough month for people who are applying to schools as well. And I just want to wish everybody who is applying to school for this cycle the very best. Sometimes your work schedules and stuff and things can get in the way, but you need to push to get to the end. And that's to remind people that some schools, November 15th deadline has passed. So the deadlines have started to come in thick and fast like that. So November 15th deadline has come. Some schools even had a first priority deadline of November 1, and November 15 has passed. The next major deadline is December 1. So after this webinar, you should make sure that submit if you really want scholarship. December 1 deadline is coming. Some schools will have December 15th, some will have January 1st, some will have January 15th. As at now, if you really, really want scholarship for fall 2025 for most of the schools, make sure you target December 1. After that, December 15th, January 1st, January 15th. Don't look at February 1. Don't put your eye, because by February 1, almost everything is done. Your target should be December 1, December 15th. So the schools that you are trying to apply, as at now, go and check what is the deadlines for them. Some schools have what we call departmental deadlines. There might be the general deadline of December 1, but for certain departments, it might be December 15th. Or there might be the December 15th for the school, but the department might be. So go and check. And if anytime you are unsure of anything, we have explained severally the need to send emails as well. Now, how important is the statement of purpose in this process? Some will call it the motivational essay, some will call it personal statement, and many other ones. But one thing we have explained severally, which throughout the various sessions, is that there is a way to use AI and use it ethically. So one of the things schools hate the most, I mean, if I say hate, I'm using the word hate to the highest extent, is to use AI, ChatGPT, Meta AI, or Grok to write a statement of purpose. It means that, I mean, somebody will say, but they could also have used AI to write this for themselves. But they actually want you. And grad school frowns on plagiarism. So plagiarism in the sense that you might go and see somebody's statement of purpose, SOP, that the person used to get a scholarship, and you just go and copy it verbatim and use it for, you just change the name. No, that is academic dishonesty. And graduate school frowns upon that. Graduate school frowns upon academic dishonesty, either by copying somebody's work and then using it as yours, or by using AI. Now, that said, you can pick ideas, and as we always say, we talk about using AI ethically. Pick the ideas that AI might give you. So, those of you who are pure AI inclined, what you can do is you can give it the prompt. Kindly give me the outline. The keyword is what? Outline, not an SOP. So kindly give me the SOP outline if I'm applying to, maybe let's say, masters in agricultural technology in this school. AI will give you the outline. Outline means it's giving you what are the key pointers that you need to do that. As I'm saying again, if you want to still use AI, what you can do is ask for the outline. Don't ask for because if you ask for the SOP, AI will give you a very good SOP, but it is flagged. It will be flagged as an AI generated SOP. And you say, oh, but you will change the words. As you are changing the words, don't forget that the origin is an AI work. Unless you are going to do a very good humanizing work, most likely than not, it will be flagged as an AI generated work. It will be flagged as partly AI, partly human. So rather, as before AI came, people were learning how to write SOP. So today we are going to take our time to break down what are the key pointers you need to use in doing um your SOP. And as I would say again, thanks once again to the IT team for putting this presentation. I gave them the pointers and they've done this very splendid audio, I mean visually appealing presentation as well. For me, I believe in the pointers because in grad school, what the schools want to see is how you think, thinking patterns, how you can decipher information, what you can do and bring along as well. So spot on. Now, if you want to write an SOP, now the SOP is actually you selling out yourself to the school. Now, already, already you have done your academic CV and we have taken our time to explain how your academic CV is. So your academic CV, you would have shown your education, your work experience, your teaching experience, your research experience, your volunteering experience, leadership experience. Everything is clearly done there with your references also as well, with your LinkedIn profile and all other stuff there. Everybody might have the same thing, but who are you beyond your CV? That is what the SOP is asking for. Who are you beyond your CV? How has your life been? What are you bringing on board? Everybody can prepare a very nice CV. I mean, but so somebody says your SOP is you being there without you being there. So the SOP is actually speaking much about you before you even get the grad school interview. We'll later on do a grad school interview, how to prepare for interview, because some of the schools in getting admission, after reviewing your academic CV, your SOP, your transcript, everything, they will invite you for an interview for the scholarships as well. So that one too is there. Now, how do you put your SOP? Now, let's take it from a headline point of view. Your SOP, you need to have key pointers. What are the key things? Let's say, let me even break it down to the most basic level that everybody can understand. If you are going to write an essay, okay, assuming you are writing an essay about yourself, an essay about myself, what will you do? There will be an introduction, there will be the body, and there will be the conclusion. In the same way, SOP has that. So there's the introduction, the conclusion, and the body, but the body has the key pointers that you need to do. So the body would have one, you are applying for a master's program or a PhD program. What is the learning experiences that you have? What is the skills that you have. So that will be there. That will be the first part of the body. We will treat it, but I'm just want to give you a fair idea. Then you have what are the key pointers that is preparing you for that particular program only. Then your alignment with the professors, which you've spoken about in the code email one. And then what will you do after the program? So if you're able to clearly highlight this, now that is also to say that please, yes, it is true you are writing about yourself, but don't have your ideas scattered. Your paragraph should be clearly demonstrated or clearly aligned. So we should see that this paragraph one is introduction. Your last paragraph is conclusion. Your next paragraph from introduction should move to your experiences and then your skills. After experiencing your skills, your next paragraph should move into how prepared you are for grad school. Then the next paragraph should be what makes you the best person for this, by showing your alignment for the research work that is going on. Because most of the schools are doing research. Yes, somebody say my school is not doing research. If your school is not doing research, assuming you want to apply for teaching assistantship, how prepared are you for the teaching assistantship? Or if it is just a fellowship, so post grad school, after the grad school, what will you do? Okay, so I think the IT team would just move into it will take it one by one. So I've given the how do you call it, the overview from the top, the area view, the area view from the top. So paragraph one, paragraph two, paragraph three, and I want to say this: they are not looking for perfectly written SOPs. They are looking for SOPs that tell your story. Some people want perfect. You will not get the perfect work. It's actually, your SOP tell us about you when you are not there. As I said, your SOP is you being there without you being there. That's what your SOP is. And can it convince them that, oh, we actually want to get to know this person? This is somebody that is really, really the kind of person that we want on board. Okay. So the paragraph one is your introduction. Introduction. Now, I want to demystify this. The schools are, as we always say, the game is changing. Things are always changing. Now, people have seen the same kind of stories. As a Ghanaian growing up in a village, as a Ghanaian, can I say, walking on the shores of Ghana, as a Nigerian walking on the shores of Nigeria, there are some sentences that are overused. They are tired of those stories. Tell us something unique. As a first generation child, yes, we are a first generation child. As a poor child, please. SOPs are not pity paragraphs. They are not pity documents. Please, in a village I am where there is no mobile network, please. Now Google is free. And for information, the Ministry of Communication, when the Ministry of Communication communicates to the Ghana Foreign Affairs Minister, and then he or she goes to UN, goes to say that, oh, Ghana has 95% mobile penetration. 95% mobile penetration. You are saying, and you two are also saying that Ghana, you don't have network in your village. They are tired of these lies. They are tired. They are tired. They are tired of those pity stories. Actually, we are the reasons why they think that Africa is so poor. I read an article earlier, I think either yesterday or so. Somebody I'm a teacher in Japan, was being asked, why do you people have elephants in your houses? Like, why not? If you continue writing stories to look as if we are in the village, that is the picture they'll paint about us. A student asking the teacher this question, a Ghanaian teacher that is working in Japan. How do you people manage the hot sun? I'm like, we make our the picture we are always saying is that things are always poor in Ghana. Please, let's stop these poor stories. We are actually the reasons why some of this racism and stuff goes on. Paint a picture. Yes, Yes, it is true. I'm not saying that yes, some people are coming from poor backgrounds and stuff like that, but they are not giving the scholarship to poor people. There are scholarships for poor people. I mean, those who are less than down. The scholarships that are grad school scholarships are given to people who are coming on board to bring something, bring value to the table. Yes, you did agricultural technology in KNUST. Yes, what are you bringing on board? And one of the agriculture guys who are bringing the African perspective to agricultural technology. Good. We want that because they always want their research to be beyond whatever they are doing. They don't want the same kind of research. Yes, they might have done research in American context and stuff like that. But can we have research from the Asian context, from the African context, from the European context? That is what you are bringing on board. So I'm bringing the perspective on. Good. So you can say, as so what do? You can highlight what the Ministry of Agri has spoken about agri. Now, you can talk about what ECOWAS has said about agri technology. Spot on. It tells you that you are bringing on board a different perspective. And as we have been saying since the series, what are you bringing on board that makes you unique? What is your unique selling point? The unique selling point is that yes, everybody's applying for agriculture technology. Yes, I mean, agriculture is applicable everywhere. The Asians are applying, the South Africans are applying, the Nigerians are applying, the Ghanaians are applying, those in South America are applying, even those in America or Europe are also applying. But what are you bringing on board? So one of the best things we have actually seen and we are actually telling people to now do is that please try and make a statement as your introductory paragraph. I mean, the first line of your introductory paragraph should get everybody to think. Get everybody to think. A statement that makes people think. It can be somebody can say, "How will this world be without agricultural technology?" That's about somebody like, "Oh wow, that's serious." Okay, then from there you can build upon it that agricultural technology has evolved over the past century, whereby we move from let's say mechanized farming to now we are even using AI involved agricultural technology. That means that you actually know what you are talking about. And come and say that as somebody who grew up using cutlass and hoe, yes, we know you use cutlass and hoe, but how can you bring that as a selling point in a country like Ghana where some farmers? So I'm giving a point. In a country like Ghana where some farmers still use cutlass and hoe, it is imperative on us as agricultural technologists to find a way to bridge the gap to make agricultural technology like the combined harvesters and co easily accessible to these ones so that they can scale up. Make a point that to make everyone that you are a thinker, you are a thinker. And I'm hammering this thing again. The admission committees are tired of these sad stories. You can go and look for the UN's agriculture agency, that is Food and Agriculture Organization, their 2024 report or 2025 report. What is their projection for the future in agriculture technology? So it means anytime you make a key point, you can say that the country director for Food and Agriculture Agency in his opening remarks to addressing agriculture in Ghana said this. It says that you're actually current in the agricultural field because it's not about knowledge, it's about how you apply knowledge. So please let's think, go into your field, the field that you are in. Maybe you are in business administration, you are in maybe public policy, maybe you are engineering. What has the Association of Engineers, Mechanical Engineers president said? What is the most important topic in mechanical engineering in the past year or past decade? So bring it on board and then find a way to link it to your interest, what you have been doing. Brainstorming. They are tired of seeing the same. And I've seen articles whereby professors have spoken about this. They want to see how we think. What will make you think? And please, if you don't take your time and do your introduction well, they will pass by. Because part of the matter is we've gotten to know that sometimes they are reviewing over 1,000 SOPs. and let's say a graduate admission committee of 5, that is 200 SOPs per person, and they are reviewing over a 1 month period. Over that 1 month, assuming let's say even if it's a 1 month period, so if it is 200 SOPs per reviewer, so means what? For 1 month means 50 SOPs per day. Now let's look at this. This professor in question, at that same point, they are reviewing, they are teaching, they are doing their lectures, they are attending conferences, they have family, they might not have the time to read every single person's SOP. I mean, they might not have the time to read it as diligently as how you want to communicate it. There are key pointers. Your introduction should make this is a special person. They can put it down. I'll pay attention to this person. We call it the first 8 to 10 seconds test. Your first 2 lines should tell this: I am a unique person. We are saying this because this is what we have gotten by checking the comments from reviewers and what they are saying from LinkedIn. I mean, from conferences, from webinars. This is what they are saying. They are tired of these things. Okay. So now somebody might ask, so what do I do? If you want to know, take your time and watch this video. What I've said in the past 10 minutes, I've spoken passionately because we are doing the same things. Like all of us are, and we all don't have the same brain. Okay. So what you can do, look for the journal of mechanical engineering, the journal of agriculture, the journal of, and look for current articles this year. Look for a current article or a current key pointer, a conference, a workshop this year, and in one sentence highlight a key point, something about the future, that mechatronics is the way to go in mechanical engineering. In the advent of AI, what can we do? How can we incorporate AI in mechanical engineering? Charlie, say something, or look for a key statement from a research article. Hit it there and reference the research article. Then build upon it. Tell us your experience. This is what, as I'm saying, we are not spoon feeding people, because the spoon feeding has become so much that now somebody, I mean, one Ghanaian student had his professor ask, why do you people have the same kind of SOP template in Ghana? I mean, why? It means that we are all copying the same thing. We are the same thing. Please, let's stop that. We actually not good picture about the game. Let's step up the game. Brainstorm. Tell us why you are applying to that master's or PhD program. That's introduction. I've spoken about it passionately. Okay, now let's go to paragraph 2. So your paragraph 2 of your SOP. Your paragraph 2 of your SOP is talking about your learning and experiences. So you want to apply to, I said, a master's in agriculture. Let me look for a different one. Let's keep agriculture technology. So you want to apply for a master's in agricultural technology. Yes, and I want to also say that we want to demystify the ideology that until you did agriculture, you can't apply for agricultural technology. There's what we call cross-curricular skills, interdisciplinary skills. If you did mathematics, you can apply for statistics. If you did economics, you can apply for MBA. If you did agriculture, agribusiness, you can apply for agriculture technology. If you even did computer science, you can apply for agriculture technology. So let it not be that I can only apply for this, my course. No. Let's look for, and they're actually looking for people who can apply their skills. So tell us, don't say they know the course you did. Tell us what you learned. So you talk about that in your undergrad, maybe you did an undergrad your BSc in agriculture from, let's say, UCC, like BSc in agriculture from UCC, where you understood the rudiments of agriculture, and you were particularly concerned about how you can apply agriculture and this technology to Ghanaian farmers. I mean, Ghanaian farmers, and even farmers worldwide. Then what are some of the key topics you learned that you think will be relevant to be applying for agricultural technology? So you can mention some of the courses, some that are relevant. Don't say they have your transcript. Yes, they have it, but highlight what you want them to see. let's say you did over 60 courses in your undergrad. Tell us what you think that makes you suited for the agriculture technology you're applying to. You did computer science, so you talk about technological courses that you did that you think can be applied to agriculture technology that you're applying to. Then, after the course that you did, what have you done? What is your experiences after this course that I did? I have worked. I have worked in maybe um the Ministry of Agric, the Ministry of Agric's district office in maybe Kentampo, and at that place, I'm the one in charge of coordinating extension services, whereby I meet with farmers. I've met with farmers over there and try to incorporate with them new technologies that have been developed by the how do you call it, Crop Research Institute or the Food and Agriculture Agency or other ones in a partnership with European partners. So it means that you're actually involved in helping the farmers know how to apply these technologies. And then based on this, having worked with the farmers, I have seen the need for us to find even more appropriate technologies for them. That is what is making me apply. So they will see the number one. Number one, you think into the future from your paragraph one and paragraph two. Number two, you actually know what you are talking about. You're not just somebody who is just applying to the course. Then there's courses, the knowledge, you have the knowledge, you already have the skills, and you have the experiences. After seeing this, it means that actually you meet the basic qualification to be able to apply to the program. Then paragraph three. So after you have shown us that yes, you have the necessary background to be able to apply to the program, now you have to zone in. Yes, everybody can apply to the program, but how has your life skills prepared you? Now, what is grad school about? Grad school is not just about learning. There's a crucial component about grad school comes that comes about. I mean, how do you call it? Um, that you need things like your research skills, your teaching skills, and I want to emphasize this next skill I'm talking about: your endurance and tenacity. Watch, I've had people. I mean, we've read articles. We've had friends who are speaking to us about how sometimes you might be doing a project, a research, and you're not getting results. How do you handle failure? So talk about, yes, I have worked in projects. So I mean, in your project that you did, maybe so let's say your Kintampo. So let me give an example. Like in your attempts to work with farmers, you notice that there was resistance from farmers in accepting technology, in accepting the new knowledge, but you persisted and even had meetings with them in order to explain to them and stuff like that. And you even had to go and even meet the chief. It shows that you are somebody who doesn't give up when you meet challenges. You find an innovative way to solve problems, because most of the things you are going to do in grad school has not been done. You are the one going to contribute to the knowledge. Every invention that came started from somewhere, and you meet bottlenecks. It's not like everything is smooth. Yes, the technologies are there, but when you meet, how do you deal with these challenges? Talk about how you have data analytical skills. Mention some of the softwares that you need. So in this case, you're actually zoning in on how prepared you are for research. I mean, if I'm saying research and teaching as well, because some of the schools, your scholarship will come through your teaching assistantship. That is why we talk about the cold email. So if you had written your cold email and then you had gotten a very good response from your school, from the graduate school coordinator or the professors, then you know that, oh, your funding is come through teaching assistantship. Then it means that here you talk much about how you are prepared to impact the knowledge you have learned as a teaching assistant, how you can support the professor, how you worked in a study group, and how you were able to work with your friends and help them all pass. So that's why we said that it's a step-by-step process. You don't just jump into this. Okay. So now, aside these skills, so the key points in your preparation that you have to write essays. I mean, tell us things. So one, how prepared are you for grad school? Your research skills. Do you know SPSS? Do you have Python skills? Do you have R skills? Do you have Microsoft Office skills? Do you have virtual assistant skills? talk about these things, teaching assistants, how prepared, how you can support the professor in his or her work. Then you come to your tenacity, how you'll be able to deal with challenges when they come. So mention the project you have done and how you overcame challenges in dealing with those problems. Then you come to your data analytics skills, because you need to be able to analyze data. So you work with I've talked about it in the research, but they also talk about your presentation skills, how you presented something like maybe at a conference or a workshop or stuff like that. Because after doing all of this, you should, as a grad school person, you should be able to present your findings. So those are very important things you do. So if you have done your paragraph 3 well, taking your time to do it properly, then paragraph 4, you now zone in on the professors. I want to work with Professor A, Professor B, Professor C. You take your time and highlight. And this is now when you would refer to the responses from the professors from your cold email. And as we said in the cold email series that we did earlier on, if you write a cold email and you don't get a response, it does not mean don't apply to the school. The fact of the matter is that sometimes the professors are overwhelmed with so many emails. So because they are overwhelmed with so many emails, it is possible that sometimes your email might escape them. But they would have noted your name down. Maybe I wanted to respond, and then something came up. He wasn't able to respond. He came back, more emails came. He wasn't able to respond. He's noted your name down. The most important thing, if you don't get a response, is that if, as long as the school is applying and you think you seal the profile based on the requirements and then you have research alignment or teaching alignment. We've spoken about this earlier on. Go and check. If you check the department website, you see that this is the kind of research he's doing. So let's say I want a different example. Maybe art. You're applying for masters in art. Maybe this particular professor is concerned about African art, European art, history of art, maybe sculpture. So these are the 4 main areas. If you think that maybe you have experiences in sculpture and then maybe history of art, you definitely can apply and mention the professor's name in your paragraph that based on these experiences that I have, my research or my teaching experience, I'm saying research or teaching, but I'm going to use research more based on whether you are getting a teaching assistant or research assistant. Now, my research aligns with Professor Kojo Menu research in this and that. And it will be clear because you've already talked about something about sculpture or about history of art in your paragraph 1, 2, or 3. It should flow. So it is a continuous. Each paragraph builds upon the other paragraph. So, and as we are seeing, now we are seeing some people write all the professors in the department. Maybe they are 10. Write all the 10, their names. My sister, Minia, my brother. If you write all the 10, then it means that you actually don't know who you want to work with. At least if they are 10 in the department, yes, it is true you might want to work with all the 10. There might be 4. If you look at your experiences and your skills and your background knowledge, you align best with those 4. Please take 4. Don't go beyond 5. 4 shows that you know what you're actually going to work about. Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. Take your time, align. This 1, 2, 3, these are the purpose. And that is why we say take your time in doing the background work. If you take your time and do the background work, you are good to go. I think the previous webinar we did, I explained that somebody had sent 47 plus emails, cold emails. And then he noticed that when he changed the strategy and rather started looking at professors he aligns with, started getting responses. Out of those 4 responses, 2 gave him fully funded. Boom. He's now in Australia doing his PhD. So professors are looking for people who can come into their lab or come into their mentorship or their supervision, who they can work with straightforward. I mean, not to say that you will still learn, you will still be trained, but it's easier to train somebody who has the basic skills or basic knowledge of what you need in your lab than somebody who is, a square peg in a round hole. So look for professors you align with. Take your time and carve the paragraphs, those paragraphs very well. My research aligns with this. Now, why? Oh, based on my experiences working with the farmers in Kintampo, whereby I've done this and that, my researches works in that and that and that, or based on, so it's a premise. You build the premise and then you do the linkage and explain how working with a professor will help you achieve your goals in the future as well. Then paragraph 5 is your postgraduate goals. Now, after the graduate school, what do you want to do? Do you want to come and work in your place of work in a higher role? So maybe you are as I'm still giving the Kintampo example. You are the agri extension officer in Kintampo. Do you want to now move to become the regional coordinator for extension offices in BA, or you want to be the national extension officer, or you want to work in food and agriculture organization, an international organization, you want to work in the agriculture organization of ECOWAS or UN, let us know. Now, maybe you also want to be an assistant lecturer because maybe you want to continue to do a PhD, you want to do a postdoc, you want to be a faculty member, assistant professor, list it. Now what we are trying to see that people just list their ideas in a whole. Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. Now, the pointers are coming. Let's try and give clear-cut pointers. In the next 3 or 4 years, in the short to medium term, so the next 3 to 5 years after my role, I aspire to be a regional or national agriculture extension officer, agriculture technology officer in my country, Ghana, or other African countries or other international countries. Other countries worldwide. Or talk about you want to work in be a consultant, agriculture consultant for food and agriculture organization, and so the global, regional or global organizations of agriculture. Talk about that, and you can see in the next 5 to 10 years, I look forward to maybe continuing to do a PhD to apply what I've done, or to do a postdoc, or to be a faculty member, or to build an agriculture training institute of technology in my home country. Spot on. Don't just say I want to be this. They like to see what is your pathway. So take your time and give details. Don't talk in vague. When they see you have detailed, then it means you know what they are talking about. So first, people were just writing, I want to be there, but now I'm talking about clear cut. Break your postgraduate goals down. Maybe the first 3 to 5 years, this is what I want to do, this and that and that. Then 5 to 10 years and beyond. And most important, let's hammer this. Every school wants to see people who would contribute to society. So bring something that will be beneficial. It's not always about you. And so, yes, we know you are going to school. Yes, you want to build your profile and then have money and build. Yes, it's true, it's important. But schools will prefer to have people whose knowledge will be much applicable to changing the world or changing their community than people whose knowledge is just about they, me, myself, and I. So look for how you can extend your knowledge to be beneficial to people in the ecosystem, your country, sub-region, and beyond. Now, after taking your time to do a very good introduction, showing that you are somebody who brainstorms, who thinks, who is ready for critical thinking and stuff like that, in your paragraph 2, you have carefully taken your time to write your research experiences, your learning experiences, your skills, and that. Paragraph 3, whereby you've now zoned in how your experiences and learning have prepared you for grad school, taking your time to highlight your research experiences, teaching experiences, data analytics skills, tenacity, endurance, and all those things. Paragraph 4, whereby you've been specific on the professors, you've zoned in on them, their research, and the key word to professors is research alignment. You've done that. And then paragraph 5, whereby you've now taken your time to explain your postgraduate goals in a very carefully articulated manner, giving some level of timelines, short to medium term, future, broken down. first 2 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, and beyond. It does not mean that's what you will be. Oh. Nobody knows the future, but at least there needs to be a clear cut plan of this. Then, importantly, like as we are all taught in school, your conclusion should always tell us that you are good. So what you can do is that your conclusion should summarize all your points. Your conclusion normally should be about three sentences. Take your point. You can just sum it that looking at the experiences I bring on board as an African person with this background and with special focus on research in these areas and that, I believe that I'm a very good candidate for the program. And as we always say, it is not about always what the school will give you, also what you are bringing on board. As we said it, how are you going to be beneficial to the professor? How are you going to be professional to the school, the research they are doing? If it is not a research, even the tuition, if they are teaching assistants, the work they are doing, graduate assistantship, what are you bringing on board? And then explain, and then you put it. So your conclusion should sum up all the key pointers. So you can have a key point that looking at how agriculture technology is going in the next 5 to 10 years, and as one who has had initial experiences in these areas, you think that you are among the best candidates for this role. So you talk about that and then explain why you've chosen the school and stuff like that. You are good to go. Your conclusion, somebody made a point that a conclusion is more like a summary of your introduction, or somebody said that it is a rewording of your introduction. More like your conclusion should buttress your introduction. Conclusion it's up to you how you do it, but sum up everything you have said, that your learning experiences and skills puts you in a unique position for you to be able to apply for the program. And you are very certain that you are bringing something, a unique skill, a unique profile on board, and that the school also would help you to achieve those goals, your future goals as well. And you're actually happy for this opportunity as well. And you are good to go as well. I think I didn't talk about teamwork. So when you talk, there's a high in the paragraph 3, talk about teamwork as well. Teamwork, because most researchers are team workers, so don't forget to talk about these things as well. And then you are good to go. So if you take your, and this is the most difficult thing. Take your time. You can do it. And as I said, they are not looking for perfect SOPs. They are looking for SOPs that tell a story about you without you being there. That if they have to do graduate interview, they'll say, no, we want to interview this guy. We want to see who is this person that is telling a very unique story that we actually want to know about. So that is how that point will go. Now, when you are done with this, what do you do now? SOPs are not developed in one day, and they can take you about 2 weeks. You can start, and you don't have to always develop the ideas paragraph 1 before paragraph 2. No, please. I always tell my students, you don't have to answer question 1 before. You can start paragraph 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you might struggle with your paragraph 1, but once you do paragraph 2 and 3 and 4, you get an idea to go and do paragraph 1. That's why it's Microsoft Word. You can just press this enter button, create the spaces, and then make it together. But the most important, when you are done, the whole SOP should be a coherent article. It should all sum up to tell something about you. When you are done with your SOP, it's very good to have a second opinion, have somebody read it, check for grammar. So what you do is read it again about 2 or 3 times. Don't read it in a tense situation. Take your time, read the first one, second time, third one. Check everything. Make sure your punctuations, now let me come to the correction of errors. Now, when you are done, there's a mistake some people are doing. What they do, when they're done with the SOP, because of the advent of AI and stuff, they give it to ChatGPT or AI, Meta AI. Oh, check my SOP for me and correct it. No, please, I want to emphasize. Please don't tell it to correct your errors. If you do that, what will happen that it will convert your humanly generated work to an AI work, because it's now doing the correction. Rather, give it the prompt. Can you highlight the errors and I'm emphasizing again, give it the prompt, ChatGPT or AI, highlight grammatical errors or highlight errors you found in my SOP. It might give you, oh, this sentence you're writing, this and that. When it highlights the errors, then you rather will correct it. I'm emphasizing this one because it is so very painful when you take your time and write the SOP yourself. And in an attempt to use an advanced tool to correct or work on your errors, rather the AI machine or the AI tools rather now convert your whole thing to an AI work, because an AI outputs an AI work. An AI outputs an AI work. So when you give it to it, the response it gives you is an AI work. So in order not to have your work flagged as an AI work, and I'm saying it because some people have inadvertently done it naively. It's not their fault. They thought they were just, yes, as I've said, we are not putting AI away. You have to use it ethically. So don't give it to AI to do the correction for you. Give it to AI. Highlight the errors, grammatical errors, sentence errors, and structure errors. If it highlights it for you, then you yourself as a student do the corrections yourself in your own words. It's very painful. People who they were told that, oh, but I didn't use AI to do it. Said when we asked for that, oh, the person rather used the AI to just do the corrections, and then the whole work was flagged as AI work. So in order to create that AI challenge, what do you do is that what do you have to do is that, I mean, you can have a friend, you can have your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your sister, your brother, somebody you trust who has a good command of the English language and also understands you, and read it and see. When he reads it, you can see whatever you have done very well, and then you are good to go as well. So when they have done they will say, oh, check this and that, to do all your corrections as well. Now, the reason why your words should not have grammatical errors. I mean, there might be one or two. Grammar. There's some one or two grammar that actually is quite very tricky. You're not too sure, but it shouldn't have so many grammatical errors, spelling errors, and stuff. And let me also say this, please. Your alignment, when you are done, always align your paragraphs. Align them with justify alignment. Naturally, when you're on Microsoft Word, the alignment is left aligned. It's aligned to the left. Rather, do justify alignment, whereby all the two ends are flattened. If you get the J, normally if you look at, there's justify, there's center align, there's right align. No, there's left align, center align, right align, and then justify. If you are doing any official documentation, essays and stuff, always don't forget to justify. And then your SOP should have a clear heading, bold in your heading. So your heading be maybe statement of purpose, for a masters in agriculture technology, University of Iowa. I don't know why I always mention Iowa, because it's quite easy to pronounce. University of Iowa. Then you can write your name either under the heading or after your conclusion. Write your name and highlight it. Your name, official name, as on your passport. Use that as well. Yes, and then you are good to go. So this is SOP. We are praying that everybody should be able to put on the SOP by December 1st, be able to apply and stuff like that. If you have not done it, this is what you got. If you have already done your SOP, you can watch this video, watch it over and over again, get the ideas and use it to do your changes and stuff like that. And thanks once again to the Casa de Lengua team for inviting us to come on board once again for this webinar as well. So, Ms. Donik, you can take over from there. If there are any questions, you can ask any questions and stuff like that. We are good to go.
That was very detailed, Mr. Nkitia. Thank you so much. For those of you who joined late, I'm going to go over what was said. So, if you haven't watched our previous webinars, kindly visit the Casa de Lengua website, where you'd see all the webinars we've done so far, because it's a build-up. In today's webinar, Mr. Nketia touched on finalizing all your submissions by November. Better still, you should make sure you meet December 1st and 15th deadline. That is, if you want to apply in 2026, do not wait until February. It will be too late for you. And if you are uncertain about something, kindly send an email to your school directly for clarification. You should avoid chat GPT reading content and plagiarism. Only use ideas or outlines. Now, your SOP, which is your statement of purpose, is selling yourself. That is who you are beyond your CV. A strong SOP has an introduction, body, and conclusion. The conclusion must highlight key pointers, not repeat your CV. Schools also don't want a perfect SOP. What they want is your story, your unique story, not a pity story. You should bring a fresh perspective to your narrative. Your opening lines should make the reader pause and think. So ask yourself, is your opening line making whoever is reading think? In terms of the structure, there should be the paragraph one, which is introduction, and it should be compelling opening. It should be a compelling opening that grabs attention. You should also present a fresh perspective linked to your purpose. The paragraph two should delve into your learning and experience. You should highlight relevant academic, professional, or personal growth. Paragraph three should touch on your research skills, tenacity, endurance, and teamwork. You should demonstrate your research abilities and resilience. You should show evidence of teamwork and collaboration. You should highlight key skills that would support the professor's research. Paragraph 4 should dwell on professors and your research alignments. So you are going to identify specific professors you'd want to work with, explain how your interests align with their research, and then remember, professors choose students that can collaborate with them. So if whatever you're come to do is not going to help the professor, it will be difficult for the professor to choose you. Paragraph 5 is your postgraduate goals. So you should provide clear, realistic, and impact driven goals, and you should show how your knowledge will benefit your community and environment, not yourself. They are not interested in how your knowledge is going to benefit yourself but the society. Now, with the conclusion, you should summarize key points and reinforce your motivation, alignments, and future impacts. It's also important to know that your work should be coherent and you should always have someone to review it for you before sending it. Please don't tell ChatGPT to review the work. What you should rather do is to highlight the errors, and after AI has highlighted the errors, you do the correction yourself so it doesn't look AI like an AI written work. And always use the justify alignments to align your paragraphs. The SOP should also have a clear heading, which should be bold. So, for those of you who joined late, that was the summary of what we did. Mr. Nketia, please, I see some questions in here.
Yeah. Okay. Before you bring the question, as you were reading, I just noticed just two things. So one, some schools have SOP outline. I think I didn't say that. Some
Okay.
schools have SOP outline. This and this and this is what we want to write in your SOP. So if the outline is given, fair enough. You follow the outline just like how they have done. Some schools don't give the outline. So if the outline is not given, this is what you do. But even when the outline is given, you pick the ideas from what we've taught you in addressing the outline. Then some schools have limitation on SOP limitations. So fair enough, an SOP should be one and a half to 2 pages. So one page, 2 page. Some schools might just say 2 pages. Some schools might say 500 words or 700 words. When they give a word limit, try as much as possible to meet the word limit. Because now what we are even being informed is that now what they do is that the first screening is done by technology, so AI tools. And the AI tool is checking, and you do 701 and it says 700 EMPA. I mean, it means that you will not get to the next stage of the review. So sometimes they will use that to screen those who cannot obey simple instructions. So it means that your actual SOP will not even get to the professor, all because you were not able to keep to the simple instruction of 700 words. So those other instructions. So this what we talked about is the general SOP, how it is done. But if a school gives specific instructions, please adhere to the instructions judiciously. Thank you. So the
Thank you
questions
so
can
much.
come as
Thank
well.
you. Yeah. Okay, so we have quite a number, but I'm going to pick a few for want of time. So the first question is, what's the best way to communicate my long-term vision without sounding abstract or unrealistic?
Okay. So I use the agricultural extension. Okay, so let me branch into a let me branch into a different field. Okay, so you're a mechanical engineer, right? Okay, you are the assistant supervisor of your company. So most likely than not, after doing a master's, you are going to be the supervisor or looking to be the head of engineering department of your company. So what do you do? So it should be clear. Now you're an assistant supervisor. What do you do? What is the next two progression steps for you? So you talk about that at where you are working and other places you can also work in. Number two, you can also talk about how you can work in engineering consultancy, because like almost every work has a consultancy. Consultancy means that because you have done advanced research, you want to apply that research to other organizations that might need that. So you bring about that one. And then it's also possible that you might want to be a faculty member. Now, sometimes the schools prefer, not to say they, I say prefer in a sense, prefer students who would also want to do further research. Now, if a school sees that you, this person who are applying for a master's, you prefer to do a PhD, then they see that, oh, it is good because this person, when he comes to our school, he will stay here for longer, because then it means they are going to contribute a longer, because most of the researches that we get results are not 1 day or 1 year researches. There can be a research professor is doing for like 6 years. He's not gotten the final results he wants. There might be phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four. So it's always nice when you have somebody who could have been there all throughout this time as well. And then, like you said, regional organizations. So aside so national one and regional ones, you are good to go as well. So just take your time, look at yourself, ask yourself, where am I now? What is the next 2, 3 possible progression in my career? List them gently, and then you add all these other ones as well. Good. Thank you.
The next question is, how can I incorporate a personal story in the SOP without making it sound emotional rather than intellectual?
Please come again. I think that the line was breaking up my end. I
So,
mean,
okay, so
say the question again.
the person wants to know how he could incorporate a personal storytelling, a personal story, sorry, in the SOP without making it sound emotional rather than intellectual.
So somebody so what you do is that personal story you want to talk about, brainstorm upon it. An example, you I want to use this example. um Delicious tasty noodles with Indomie. 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 Now, you are talking about food and nutrition, right? You can talk about how such the sound of this this advert always spark a desire in you for you to find a way to make food easier to make in your country. It is still a personal story because that is something that is personal to you, but you're actually linking it to something intellectual that you are thinking about how to find more innovative ways to food. So that is what they want to see, your brainstorming ability. So just brainstorm, think about it. You pick that same personal story. How can I apply it to research? How can I make it intellectual? And then you are good to go.
The next question: how do I balance ambition with feasibility when proposing research interests? How do I balance ambition with feasibility when proposing research interests?
Okay, so let's say this. Okay, so let's say um you you might want to do a broader research. Okay, but as we have said, let's say you want to do AI AI application in health. Okay, but you see that your health area might be surgery. Okay, but the professor you are working with is doing AI in general health practitioning. You, even though your final goal is to do AI in surgery, that professor is not doing AI in surgery. So what do? Balance it, break it, create the feasibility that the linking that you want to do AI in, how do you call it, in healthcare, AI in healthcare with the opportunities for further research in AI in surgery. So what do? Create the linkage, with the professor and explain that you are even looking to the opportunity for further ones, because that professor in question might also have some further research ideas he might not even be talking about even as at now, because he might not have been able to even get the grant, his grants approved, so might not be on the website yet. So you are still ambitious, but one, create the alignment with the professor, because professors also sometimes work with students in areas that are beyond their research, because they know that students can always go beyond them. The professors don't have the ideology that it always has to be about them. So, as you said, create the linkage by the feasibility and then show that there's a possibility for further research as well.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question: the person wants to know how she can talk about her weaknesses or gaps, like low grades or a career break, without undermining her
Okay.
credibility.
Okay, great. So, career break. Okay, the the professors understand that we are human beings. Human beings don't go through perfect life cycle. That's the truth. Human beings don't go through perfect life cycle. So sometimes some people's low grades might be because they had to juggle work with studying. Therefore, that was the only way they could be able to fund their undergraduate program. So yes, your law grades. So what do you do? Change the turn your challenges to opportunities. So what do? I mean, your low grades were caused by the opportunity. I mean, you having to, and then by because you're able to juggle working with, how do you call it, studying, which definitely affected your low grades. You've also learned how to be able to juggle a lot of things, which is also now your advantage, because it means that, because when you are going to, so now much of grad school, you are working and schooling. So even though you had that, now you are, and then you explain that you are now better prepared, and that's what you can also explain now. What you should also show is that show improvement. That maybe you had these challenges when you were in the first or second year, but you reached out to your school admissions counselor and staff, and that is why it is seen in your third and final year result that your results are better because you're able to find a way to deal with the problem. So that same challenge, create a solution out of it, and let us have visible solution out of it. Now, there might be a gap in career. Some ladies have had to stop working in order to take care of family. There's nothing wrong with that. What you do is explain that in that period of time whereby you had to take care of family, I mean give birth and raise your children, you found a way to teach your children the value of education and things like that. So you 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 challenge, find a very intelligent way, create an opportunity out of it, and you are good to go. As I always say, your SOP should show that you are somebody that thinks very high, that every professor would want to work with somebody like you. I hope that one helps.
Yes.
Was that
Now
well
another
answered
person
from your end?
was, yes, I think so. Let's move to the next question. Our time is fast
Great. Looks like today we have questions.
approaching. Yeah.
Don't worry.
The
I mean,
next
you
one
can bring the
says,
questions. I mean, SOP is a very crucial area. So,
our time is still not, we I think we still have like 15 minutes so we can touch on all the questions. So this person wants to know about writing style. He says that which writing techniques makes an SOP more analytical rather than descriptive? Is there a specific writing style to adapt?
okay, okay. So, I mean, um, if you want to make analytical, talk about numbers. So talk about numbers. So um when you work, so maybe in your, how do you call it? Bring a lot of numbers into your work. So when you work in your company, the project you have done has brought about a 40% increase in this and that and that. So I'm bring key pointers. These are descriptive. You want to make your SOP analytical.
Hello, Mr. Nkitia. Mr. Nkitia. Yeah, I think we lost him. Okay, so while waiting for him to join us, if you're watching us, this is one of our scholarship
Sorry,
webinars, and today
sorry,
we are looking at statement of
sorry,
purpose. Okay, Mr. Nketia is back.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I think that was a challenge in my network. Sorry. Okay, so I was talking about the analytical question. So what you can do. So for you who wants to make your SOP analytical, your first line should be purely analytical. 40% of farmers in Africa are still using old technologies. Key point. It shows that this analytical person pointed. Then you build up on it. How can we use technologies to help? So you see, you've made a key point, and then you start doing analysis from there. So it's also possible as well. Thank you. Next question.
What's the best way to articulate the long-term impact of an SOP to show that the person is a valuable investment? What is the best
What?
way to articulate long-term impact to show that the person's work is a valuable investment?
Okay, I think it's possible. Maybe the person maybe didn't get the point we made for the postgraduate group. But as we said, take your time and build the pointers. One, where you are working, next level, promotion level. Now, how you can be a consultant and how you would apply the knowledge that you have learned from the research or the program to other people because you are a consultant. How then you can also expand it to community. volunteering work that you plan to do by collaborating with other people in your field, other mechanical engineers and then how you can even go to schools underprivileged in society, and then how you would be able to apply it at national and regional or international multinational companies that can have greater impact. If you're able to take your time and explain it step by step, you are good to go. People will know that you're actually a valuable candidate that is worth investing in. And as I said,
Those- Mhm.
there is no perfect SOP. It is how you carefully articulate your ideas.
This person says that he wants to know how to tailor an SOP to multiple scholarships without losing depth and authenticity. Is it possible to do that, to tailor your SOP to multiple scholarships?
That's one thing I said earlier on when we were doing the CV. Every SOP you write must be re-edited to suit any scholarship you are reapplying to. Don't have just one SOP and the same thing. DBR, please. No, it doesn't show intentionality. So after you have made your draft, you might see that this scholarship is focused on volunteering. So it means you highlight more volunteering in this. This is focusing on analyticals or scholarly skills. So you talk about that. So there's no one size fits SOP. Every SOP, as we've said from the scholarship one, every application document you use, edit it to suit what you are applying to. That is what I would say for that one.
Okay. Um, I think we have like three more questions and then we are done.
Okay.
So I know you've touched on quite a number of intellectual qualities, but this person wants to know whether there are specific intellectual qualities scholarship committees value most in applicants. This person wants to know whether there are specific
They are
intellectual
specific.
qualities
Yes.
that
Yes. So if you
scholarship
want to know,
committees value the
so
most.
so check. So when you go to the department website, take your time and read. You might see key things. You want people with this. Sometimes they might say requirements. So the requirements might give you an idea or the kind of people they produce. So you look at that. That's why you also join school webinars. So when you join webinars, you see these kind of things, or you can even look at past scholarship people, what the stories of the past scholarship awardees, the winners, and then you'll be able to see there is no clear cut this, that, and that. But the key pointers is your analytical skills, how you're able to brainstorm, your critical thinking skills, how you're able to research, how you're able to present. All of these things are essential skills based on how you're able to articulate it as well. Thank you.
Okay, so we have two more to go. This one says that how do I create a narrative that logically ties my past, present, and future? How do I create a narrative that logically ties my past, present, and future?
And it means this person was not with us from the beginning because we took our time to really explain how the introduction is done. So as I was talking about the person with agricultural experience extension, so you talk about your background, what you are currently doing, and then where you are going. So I would advise the person to take it all the time and watch again from the beginning how you create that background in your introduction. Your introduction will articulate your past, then you carefully as you can definitely show in the long run. It will definitely show in the long run how you're able to do that.
The last but not the least, what's an effective way to show that my research or career path is grounded in evidence and reflection, not passion alone? What's an effective way to show that my
I think my
research or
network.
career path?
Mhm.
Hello, can you hear me
What's an
now?
effective way to show your research and career path? Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's an effective way to show that my research or career path is grounded in evidence and reflection, not passion alone?
evidence. And yes, so what you do is that you mention your undergraduate thesis. Your undergraduate thesis is very important. So show us how your undergraduate thesis, what you've done at undergraduate thesis, you have made use of it. The undergraduate thesis that you did. Tell us how useful you have used it in wherever you have already done. If you can't show us how beneficial that research has been, then it means that you have not done it. So create that kind of thing. What you have done, show us what you have done with this, and you're good to go. I mean, as I say, they are not looking for perfect work. They are looking for stories that are real, stories that are real. And
Thank you so much. Mr. Nketia, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Mr. Nketia? Okay, I think we've lost Mr. Nketia, but he's touched on almost all the questions we asked. Thank you once more, Mr. Nketia, for this insightful presentation. If today is the first time you are joining us, this is our scholarship webinar. Today we touched on statement of purpose. If you joined late or you couldn't get all that was presented, please visit our YouTube channel for the recording. If this is the first time you're watching us, this scholarship webinar is coming to you from Casa de Lengua. We organize it twice every month. You can go to our website to see the dates for upcoming events. And at Casa de Lengua, we don't only offer scholarship advisory services. We are also an IELTS registration center for the British Council. We train you for IELTS and then we register you to write the exams. Aside that, we also offer translation services, interpretation services, conference equipment rental services, and then language training. So please make it a point to visit our website to see the services we offer. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to drop an email at support@casadelengua.com or to my personal email address at diaglo@casadelengua.com. Thank you so much. Until next time, it's me, your one and only Donuki Aglu. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.